had to look at my notes for a minute. So we're going to have a little go. It's just on 7:30. I'm going to come back to me so that you can see me. So the big three elements, and I'll point them out as we go through, are mindfulness, a sense of common humanity, we are not alone, and kindness and warmth to self. So let's take this off for a minute and let's actually, and this is your choice, I want to make sure that you have complete choice over this. If you would like to have a go at self-compassion practice with me, please join in. Nobody can see you, and I'm not sure where you are located in your home at the moment, but if perhaps going to another room might be helpful, I'll give you a couple of moments to do that, because we are going to actually have a little go. And if you just want to listen, that is fine too. All right. So I'm going to just invite you to get comfortable in your seat, and I will do the same. Just adjust that screen a little bit so you can see me nice and clearly. And let's just prepare. This will probably take maybe 15 minutes by the time we move through two different little exercises. I hope you enjoy it. Don't be at all surprised if it feels a little strange if you've not done this before. That is one of the misconceptions about self-compassion. Once you start and once you kind of bring it into your routine, you'll find it's incredibly soothing, and you will start to notice the benefits in terms of well-being. Okay. So we don't need to close eyes if we don't want to. We're just going to start with looking at some very simple gestures that are compassionate. And this is the somatic approach. So somatic meaning body. And we're going to use some soothing and supportive touch. And there's some good research to show that touch is a reliable way of expressing kindness and compassion to others. And there's good anecdotal evidence to show that it also works for ourselves. Even watching a simple gesture like putting a hand over the heart can influence how people think and feel. A study was done in 2014 to show that. Now, a small percentage of people may find that placing a hand over heart feels anxiety-inducing or perhaps embarrassing, or it might make you feel vulnerable. That's okay. I want to invite you to engage or not with some of these gestures I'm going to show you. So we're just going to move through some forms of touch that are considered to be soothing and supportive. The first one is two hands over the heart. And we're just going to breathe into that, probably just 2 or 3 nice deep breaths. And then we'll release that one. Another one, and this comes back to the yin and yang that we've talked about this evening, is to make a fist with one hand, which is the yang, the strong, protecting, providing, and then almost like a blanket with the other hand, that's the yin, the soothing, calming, and then just place that at the center of our torso and breathe into that. And some people find that combination of soothing and strength really helpful. Let's release that one. Another gesture, move back a bit for this one, is one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. And then just breathing into that and making sure that we fill our belly on the in-breath. And we'll release that one. Another one is just a hand on the cheek. Again, these can be little gestures that we do when we feel in need of a soothing, calming moment. And we can add to that one by actually cradling the face. We're such cognitive beings, and so an awful lot happens up here above our shoulders. But this somatic gesture can help us to drop down from our cognitive self into our bodies. Another one is to stroke our arms gently, just up and down. We can take some deep breaths. We can do this. We might be in a situation where we're feeling criticized or overwhelmed, and we can actually just do this. It can help. And we can take it further and cross one's arms and give a gentle squeeze. And I like to do this. I do this quite often when I'm just feeling it. And you can drop your head in if that helps. And then the last one I want to show you is cupping our hands together. We'll often hold someone's hand to soothe them. And many of us will be able to think of the last time we reached out and held someone's hand, someone who was struggling. But how often do we stop and hold our own hands? We can do this in our lap very privately. And just focus on that sensation of holding your own hand. So thank you for trying that. We're going to move now into a self-compassion break with language. So I've just demonstrated self-compassion without language. This is now with language. So I invite you to think of a situation in your life that is difficult, that's causing you stress right now. It might be a health problem. It might be a problem in an important relationship. It might be a problem at work or with a colleague. Perhaps someone has crossed your boundaries. Perhaps someone has disrespected you. Please choose a problem in the mild to moderate range. If we were to put a number on it, a 3 or 4 out of 10. Don't go to the top shelf because we don't want to overwhelm ourselves. as we are practicing a skill. You may go there later when you are very adept at self-compassion practice. You can help to close your eyes at this point as we allow ourselves to see, hear, and feel our way into the problem. To the extent that we may experience some uneasiness in our bodies. Where are you feeling it most at the moment? You can just make contact with where that is if you wish. If it's a feeling in your heart, feeling in your very intuitive gut. And then say to yourself slowly and clearly, this is a moment of suffering. That's the mindfulness part. You may have other words such as, this is something I'm struggling with. Or this situation doesn't feel good. And next, say to yourself again, slowly and clearly, suffering is a part of living. Other options might be, other people experience this too. I'm not the only one who finds this really, really hard. I'm not alone. That's the common humanity part of self-compassion. And now put your hands over your heart or whatever feels supportive, one of those other gestures that we practiced before. And say to yourself, may I be kind to myself. May I give myself what I need. That's the self-kindness part. And perhaps ask yourself what quality of self-compassion you need at the moment. Maybe the yin side. That might be something like, may I accept myself just as I am. Or may I care for myself tenderly in this moment. Or maybe the yang side. The yang side might say something like, no, I will not allow myself to be treated in this way. Or may I have the courage and the strength to make a change that must be made. And if you're having difficulty finding the right words, just imagine for a moment that a very dear friend or a loved one is having the same problem as you. And what would you say to this person heart to heart? Not to give advice, not to take the problem away, not to distract them. Just a few words that you would like to give this person. What message would you like to deliver? Now maybe we can offer that same message to ourselves. So I'll give you a moment to just let that settle inside and to reflect on that. Feel free to, if you want to make a comment about what that was like, feel free. It's an anonymous comment, and but you could use the chat bar or the Q&A bar for that. So I'm going to finish with our slides now, or finish up. I've got a couple more things to show you. So they were the three elements. I hope you recognised them. The mindfulness element, that's turning towards the difficulty, the common humanity element, appreciating and understanding that you are not alone in your struggles, and the kindness and warmth to self element, which is the may I give myself what I need in this